Hello guys, so today we're gonna be going over the third trade of the $20 to do to a 50k challenge account. So before we get started, this is my Twitter. This is where I'll be uploading live when I'm taking trades. Like for example, this ETH one I had limit order, the Sui one, and the first Bitcoin one I recorded on the YouTube video. So if you want to track the live challenge account, be sure to follow my Twitter. The link is gonna be in the description. So before we go into the trade, let's go over the recap of the last episode. Last episode we tried to long here on the first trade. Unfortunately, we got stopped out because of my poor trade management. As you can see here, I had stops below this low. That would probably mean if it's broken, the trend will shift. But what I didn't see on the 50-minute, if you take all these lows here, it can show like another exhausted low, which could give another bounce, which it did. It's shown another exhausted low. We pushed to the upside, reclaimed my entry, and then we pushed to the TP. So the original trade plan was good. It was just poorly executed. The second trade we took that got us to $26 was the Sui long. Sui long was a perfect long. We showed after I saw the regain, after we pushed from the exhausted low, after I saw this crime candle on the news impact, I longed and pretty much got a perfect entry, and we hit TP, and we are on $26 on the account now. So before we go into the original trade, let's go to Solana. This is the trade we're going to be taking. Right now it's in a bit of a stop loss, but the idea is still good. So let's go over first to SPX. SPX, we pretty much predicted everything in the last episode what's gonna happen. We had an exhausted pump of the daily swing. We pushed back into this area of interest here. Then we rejected, and now we're just pushing straight down. Even though Bitcoin is holding pretty well, stocks are pretty shit at this place. It's not showing any signs of strength. We're looking at levels here. This area. We're looking at more levels. Let's see. Here on the weekly I have, but this one has been tested, so I'm gonna remove this one. So we're looking at this weekly area and this monthly for the next swings for the potential bounce. I don't think it will bounce from around here. I think the higher low is probably gonna be around this area, these swings, and from there we could potentially see the new bull market. But for now, these are the levels I'm looking for, at least like an exhaustion pump, or just a good reaction all over time frame. So yeah, I don't think there's nothing much other than that to cover on SPX. Yeah, it's pretty much bearish until we see the reclaim of 4-hour trends, daily trends, and whatever. Just the reclaim of the intraday and higher time frame trends. For current 4-hour, we need to reclaim this area for us to be really bullish again. On 1 hour, sorry. So let's go to Bitcoin now. Bitcoin has been in a range. If you go to daily, we can take this swing level here, around this swing level. Probably more clearer on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah. If you take this area here, it's been ranging from this area so from this swing, daily swing here, to this swing. This swing has been very important. This swing on daily that got us from 87k to 108k. So this swing is really important and has been marking that range high. So let's go zoom in a bit. As you can see here on the 4-hour and daily, we can see that it's clearly in the range, and it's not really showing any signs of weakness or strength from here. But if we look at the rejections from upside, they are a lot sharper than the ones to the downside. If you look at every push to the upside from the downside, it's clearly like a slow push, slow grind. Like if you see here, we pushed here really sharply, then we had a big ass higher low, then we pushed slowly to the upside. Here we had a okay push to the upside, then boom, wick into the area of interest, we wicked to there, and then we had a hard push. Now we bounced again from the range, lows again, and now we're slow grinding. We also had the first slow grind today, and also got rejected pretty hard. So what I think is, if we zoom out a bit, monthly, I don't think the higher low is formed here. If you look on monthly is pretty bullish, and now since we had this drop, we are potentially looking for the next higher low, right? So yeah, that's pretty much on monthly, and the next area of interest on monthly would be this area, the previous resistance that was tested 4 or 5 times, and we rejected from it, and now we're looking to potentially retest it, retest the level that was really important, and maybe potentially form a higher low there, and push to the upside from there. So yeah, that's what the monthly is telling us. If we go to weekly we can see wicks here to the upside. Again, try to probably form a higher low here, but it's really failing a lot. Like if I feel like if this was the higher low and the bull market was supposed to start from here, I don't think it would slow grind here a lot. I think it would show the clear strength like it did the first time it touched the CME gap, like this kind of strength, to not let people get into longs, just straight up like we got from the Trump election. That kind of pump, like this, push without stops. That's what I feel. If this was the higher low, that's what I feel it would do, something like this. So yeah, if we zoom in, if we zoom at the 4-hour, it's around the mid-range. From our top of the range, we could mark here. So I think it's gonna retest the mid-range again and send down. Because like we said on monthly, it's trying to form a higher low, but I don't think it will, because there's a good area of interest here. Weekly doesn't look necessarily as good, and daily just looks rubbish, to be honest. It hasn't still broken the down trend. If you take highs here, 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 and now here, it hasn't still broken the trend. So I think we're gonna send down from around this price. And now let's go to Solana. If you look at the Solana, we had a pretty okay push from the crime that happened today of Bitcoin. We had a pretty okay push. It's up 4.5% today. But let's go to monthly first. If you look at the monthly, this level right here has been holding us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 months. We'll be holding this level for 10 months. And it's how levels work. The more times it's tested, the less buyers we're gonna have at that area. So this level, we can see, is really exhausted, and it's showing weaker and weaker bounces. So yeah, I think this level is gonna be broken soon, if not right now. So yeah, that's the only level that's holding us from this area right here. This would be the next point of interest for us, this blue box, this swing, this order block. So yeah, we're looking for that. we're looking for a bullish scenario on Solana. We're looking at fast wick into this and then reclaim of this monthly, and then we're gonna push to the upside, likely to the 171 area, this swing right here, or even 230 area or new all-time highs, who knows. But yeah, that's monthly is telling us that this level is probably pretty exhausted and that we're gonna break it down real soon and then it's gonna send down. If we look at weekly, it shows basically what I just said on monthly. We can see that they had pretty okay bounces, but here if you look now, once we're touching this area, it's not showing the same amount of interest we had the first time it's touching. Showing the even more exhausted and just exhausted buys. Not much to show off. And if we go to daily, we can see just pretty criminal lower highs. We still didn't break any trends. Here, highs, nothing getting taken, no trend is reversing from here, and this is the last lower high. If we go to 4 hour, and now we're looking at the next potential lower high, which I think is gonna be the monthly swing we were looking at over here. So my bias is, this is also the previous support. I think we're gonna either reject from the monthly, so I entered the trade when we first wicked to it. I waited for the 1 minute breakdown trend and enter off that, but it's so far it's still trying to go to the upside. If not here, I think we're gonna test maybe this swing area. This swing area on 4 hour has been untested, so potentially could reject from here. And yeah, I think it's just gonna slap hard around these levels. It's gonna slap hard and then push to at least 103 level, so 103 level. So yeah, that's the technical analysis for this third trade. If you want to regular updates, follow my Twitter. It's gonna be in my YouTube bio, my YouTube description, and yeah, see you on the next trade.